Yo, what's good with it, guys and girls? Welcome back to the channel, man. Today is a new day. So it is currently 11:01. It's currently 11:01, man. So welcome, man. Nice to see you guys on this nice rising today. Hope what's today? Today's Thursday. Oh gosh. Hope everybody's week is the rest of the week is gonna be good. I hope you guys are doing good today. Hope you guys are doing well. I don't know why that just took me so long to get that out, but as you can tell from the title, we're gonna be talking about shadow work today. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, what is shadow work? So, a lot of you guys who are not spiritual, I know I'm gonna have a lot of new people that's gonna be watching this channel. And for the people who are already spiritual, you probably already know what shadow work is, or you probably have a vast understanding of what shadow work is. If you know what shadow work is, then I mean, hey, perfect, cool. Tag along for the video then. Maybe you learn something new, or maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. You might just pick up something, bro. Whatever it is. Maybe I could be wrong, or you can be wrong. But then again, what's right to begin with, anyways, right? So, what is shadow work? Shadow working is essentially pretty much sorting out your demons. You know, any traumas that you experience, especially in childhood. I know a lot of people will use shadow working for healing childhood traumas, right? But you can use shadow work to heal any traumas that you may get that can occur into the future, or maybe just something recently. It doesn't have to be related to childhood traumas. It's related to all traumas that would happen throughout your life, right? But majority of our shadow working does come from the childhood, because that's where our first experiences at everything in life happens. And so that's where most of our phobias and stuff will develop. You know, take a dog for instance. um I don't know, let's say like I don't know, I don't condone this type of behavior, but I mean, let's say like you hit the dog with your hand or something, right? Like the dog messes up and you hit the dog with your hand or something like that, right? Anytime you put your hand up, as the dog gets older, it flinches, right? Because it has a trauma from something that happened in the past. But yeah, but since it happened to him as a puppy, when he gets older, he sees the hand goes up, he flinches because it's a subconscious reaction to an action that is happening. You know, just like to many people out there who, I don't know, feels like they need all the attention in the world when they're in a group with other people. That can be related to any trauma with not getting attention as a child. So reason why you want to shadow work is not only is going to help you heal those traumas and help you get over whatever it was that you got going on, but it builds your self-awareness, and on top of that, it allows you to work with your shadow self. Now, it's not nothing demonic or anything demon related, but I mean, bro, in the darkness, all light comes from darkness. So if you're able to sort your problems out in shadow work and understand why you are the way you are, it can lead to so many things, you know, such as a higher vibration. You know, maybe it's part of your manifesting journey that you have to get over this trauma, or understand why you act a certain way or why you feel a certain way. I mean, shadow working can really, it goes a long way, you know. Just me personally, for an example, I mean, I ain't gonna say just me personally, oh my god, but for an example, somebody can let's say they have trust issues, right, or an abandonment issues. For the trust issues, I mean, they could probably have somebody tell them that they'll always stay in their life or whatever, right? Or they go through a repeated series of putting their trust into something or somebody, and that trust gets broken, and now they develop a sense of trust issues. Most people will subconsciously not even recognize where does that trust issues come. Oh, I'm toxic, I got trust issues. Well, how you're toxic, bro? You don't even know where your own problems come from. And then you could say, oh, well, it's not from trusting people. Okay, so what events, what exactly was literally the nail in the coffin for you early on that caused you not to trust people? It has to be something first, the first initiate that has to happen in your life to build that trauma, you know. Same thing with abandonment. A lot of us today in this world, especially in this generation, is a fatherless generation. So for guys and girls, you know. So the abandonment issues can become from an absence of a father from a childhood, you know. And I'm not saying that shadow working is going back to the childhood, but most of what everybody shadow works for now, you have to start from the beginning of time. So that's pretty much your root problem, bro. I didn't experience abandonment until in my teens. You're more likely to experience your PTSDs and your traumas in your childhood. I don't know why I said I, but you guys get the point. So with the abandonment issue, you know, it stems from an absent father. And then on top of that, you might have more other experiences that relates to the abandonment. But if you shadow work through it and understand what it was, how it made you feel, you get a great understanding on the situation and find to give yourself clarity on that situation, bro, you're gonna be fine. Now, how would you shadow work? How the shadow work works? There's many ways to do shadow work. I recently just got on shadow work, but the way I do it personally, I meditate or I just write it down, you know. But when I meditate, I close my eyes, right? You know, I do the little box breathing, you know, I do the breath work. And then by the time I get into like that bliss state of the meditation, it's just like, all right, I can ask myself anything. And so when start asking myself the questions, I gotta figure out what exactly is my problem, right? Like, let's say for an example, what would be a good example? Let's say I have a toxic trait of commitment, right? Yeah, I have a toxic trait of not committed to anybody, relationship wise. And so I'll close my eyes, you know, get the meditation going, ask my questions, you know. And so when I do the shadow work, now it's like, okay, I'm in a state to where my mind is cleared, and now I can start asking myself these questions. I know I have commitment issues, but I gotta figure out why. Why do I have commitment issues? So you sit there, you think to yourself, you know, you sort it out. Why do I have commitment issues? What event or what events, you know what I'm saying? Because it could be multiple events that led to it. Maybe that first event wasn't the one that triggered it, but maybe it was a multiple events that triggered it, or maybe it's just the one event. So you just got to think about the the traumatizing part in your life to where it felt, all right, from that point I can't commit to nobody no more, right? And so once I figure out the root of my problem, I gotta go dive deeper into the situation. What exactly happened? You know, I don't know. Most of us, when we do shadow work for childhood experiences, I know a lot of people don't remember their childhood, but if they can do the best that you can, bro, you know, do the best that you can to like understand and know what happened during that childhood, during that time period. It can just be simple or it can be very detailed. But back to the example, oh, I got commitment issues, you know, I'm sorting it out. What exactly happened? Well, let's say, let's say, I'm gonna just use in a relationship for an example. It's easy. So let's say I got into a serious relationship at one point in my life, right? And during that relationship, things got pretty rocky. And so when I make that first point, I gotta go further now. What happened? You know, what you know what I'm saying, what event made the situation rocky? What was the start of it? And then after you pinpoint what it was that happened in that relationship, then you gotta start going. You gotta go dive a little deeper. So you think about the situation, you kind of like play it off in your head, and then you want to start asking the question of, okay, what was it that I can learn from it? You know what I'm saying? Like outside of a negative perspective, what positive could it bring? Because now I'm positive aware knowing that I have commitment issues, but what good can I bring out of it? You know, how can I bring myself clarity for me to get over this trauma? And so you gotta understand, not everything is your fault. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is your fault. You know, if something bad happens to you, especially at an early age, for sure, you know, you have to think about what the other person was going through. What was the other person that was like? when the situation had conflicted. And you just take that and you just kind of sit there and let it sort itself out, bro. I promise. Like, reason why I meditate and shadow work is because everything literally sorts itself out. As long as I'm focusing on it, it just sorts itself out. And so let's say the commitment issues come from my partner. She had some traits that nowadays I wouldn't even accept. You know, like let's say she lied to me all the time. You know, she's a liar. She was untrustworthy, right? And you come to that, you come to terms, you realize, okay, I don't have commitment issues. It's just my experience, my first experience in a time where commitment was a really strong thing was affected by one person. But we all share the same consciousness, but that one person should not dictate my future relationships or my future experiences with commitment. You know, it doesn't have to be a relationship, but it has to do with the experience of commitment. So you come to terms with that, understand, and then what I like to do is I kind of like to forgive, right? You know, just like if the person inflicted something on me, then it's like, all right, you know, I'm sorry that I had to go through that. You know, I'm sorry that that experience had left such a scar on me that I allowed it to affect me now. Because we all know, like, bro, everybody is not the same. Like, just because you had a bad experience with one Leo doesn't mean the next Leo is going to be the same thing. Like, nah, it's not like that. You know, and that alone, we got to get that out of our minds. You know, one experience doesn't define any other experience similar to that. And you take that, you learn from it, you heal from it, and now you gotta start doing things in your daily life to kind of just implement that and start regaining and start building up to that level to where you can say, all right, I don't have commitment issues anymore. It was just I had a situation, you know. Everything is based off situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's say trust issues. Let's say you was in a relationship, bro. Girl broke your heart. You know, let's say y'all supposed to get back together or some shit. End up with somebody else. Now you got trust issues. Well, you don't got trust issues for everybody else. You just got trust issues for that one person. You know, don't bring the traumas that you have into the now. But if you're unaware about the traumas you have, go from within and start shadow working and start learning. You know, a lot of people have daddy issues. Understand where that comes from. Outside of meditation, you can journal as well. Sit down, write your thoughts, or go out into nature. As far as me, I just started shadow work, so I don't really have a whole lot on it. But for my little 2 to 3 week experience of shadow working, I've just been meditating and kind of journaling and kind of just thinking a lot. You know, giving myself clarity on certain things that go on to help heal those traumas. And the result of shadow working is you're going to be able to free yourself from your demons, and you're going to actually get to a point to where you can start working with them, you know. And I don't know the demonic shit, bro. Like, bro, and I don't know demonic shit, but it's just like you can use your shadow self to protect you, you know. And that's kind of where I want to get to where my shadow self can protect me, and I can use that energy to aid me in anything that life throws at me, or just to get to know myself even better. You know, it's a lot of benefits that come from shadow working. This video about to run 15 minutes. So if you guys enjoy the video, that's pretty much the end of shadow working. If you guys have any questions, comment down below, or feel free to hit me up on IG or Snapchat or my number, or wherever you can get in contact with me. If you guys haven't, check out my story time about the Kansas experience. I opened up for K Camp with me and my cousin last year in May. Pretty good story time. There's a part 1 and a part 2 to it. It's very utilized differently on how I tell story times usually. So yeah, you should go check that out. And on top of that, if you guys haven't already, I know I'm sounding like a broken record at this point, but check out my EP. The Girls Who Want to Have Fun. Me and my cousin, we worked on that project together. It's a very nice 4-song project. It's only 15 minutes. It's literally long as this video right here. Funny enough. But yeah, you guys have a good weekend, man. I'll see you guys on what's today? Thursday. So I'll see you guys neither Friday or Saturday. But look, do the hard work, especially when you guys don't feel like it. Peace.